Okay, so we should be live now, guys. Thank you for joining. I hope you guys can all hear me okay. If there's any issues, just drop them in the chat and I'll check them here, because as you know, this is a one-man show. That's such a cool tagline, isn't it? So we're here today, Monday, is it 15th of September? And we are building bestdubai.com. And so for those of you who are unaware, let me just check if I can hear. Oh yes, okay, cool. I can hear myself. For those of you who are unaware, some of the biggest sort of wins that I've seen, practical wins, revenue wins using AI, has been by building SEO-rich directories, right? So you've seen like Guilty Chef, bestdubai.com, some of these types of sites, and I'm kind of rebuilding Best Dubai as a new version. And I want to just sort of live stream as I'm working on it. So you guys are just sort of with me on the journey and seeing me do it. Now, for those of you who want to see all of the content, so let me see if I can, there. All right, cool. So those of you who want to see all of the content, which I've got around this, because I've got the entire kind of workflow from where it started, how we came up with sort of the framework for how the project is set up, how we do our research and planning for the SEO. All of these sort of tactics and tools that I've used, I've already built into sort of like, lessons and segments. And so those will be releasing this week. And so if you want to get access to them, the best place is to go to my school community, school.com 5-day sprint. And when you jump in here and you go to classroom, you'll have like loads of resources in here. So we've already got plenty of things in here, like full projects like Guilty Chef is a whole SEO directory that I've already built out, and everything is there step by step in videos. And then Best Dubai, we've got some videos in there, but we're rebuilding a lot of it, as you're going to see today. And so some of those new videos are going to come out this week. And so the 5-day sprint school community is a great place to start. But we also, of course, have 5daysprint.com, which is the actual framework for you to build your own projects. So using this, you'll actually be able to create your own projects, set them up, and then get this one-line kind of output for cursor that you can then go and run and start building your directory, which is how I'm building it right now. However, the school community, the price on that is going up to match the 5-day sprint framework. So currently on 5daysprint.com, it's $199 a month or $999 a year, which is like a 60% discount if you go annual. But that gives you access to the framework, the community, all the resources inside here. But the school community has up until now just been a place where I have resources, videos, live calls, and a community of people that you can meet. But that's been at a different price point. And so we're going to take everything to the same price point from midnight to night. And so at the moment, if you want access to the school community, that is still $49, but only for today. From tomorrow, the price will quadruple to $199, and then you'll get access to everything inside one membership. So I just want to clarify that. So if any of you guys want to do that and jump on, loads of people have been joining just to, you might as well, since it's like, such a fat discount, just jump on now. And then if you want to upgrade and get the framework later on, you can do that. But yeah, just thought I'd let you guys know that if you want to see some of the content that I've created around this, that whole AI SEO kind of thing already, which you can jump into straight away. So let me close this. Here is Best Dubai. We just had a question. Isn't it scary to move from sites out optimized for SEO into full web app? The thing is, if you take any platform like your WordPress, Webflow, Shopify, whatever it is, what really is SEO optimized, right? And so we hear of that thing, and if you, from one level, it's kind of a selling point that makes it more convenient for the end user, right? Like if you're able to get a platform that already has sort of SEO optimization built into it, then great, it's kind of another reason to use it. But if we really break it down, all SEO is a few things. First of all, you need to have the right sitemap set up, which Claude Code could just do for you. So sitemap is one thing. Another is sort of the right meta tags, keywords, open graph information, which again, Claude Code can do for you. Then it's the schema, so the type of schema, so the actual information. So for example, if you open up like a mall here, all this information is like in my user interface, but Google needs to pick it up as schema, right? And so you can go to validator.schema.org and you can check any website to see if it has schema. And if you go to schema.org, you can see what we mean by schema. So schema is basically a set of just values that, properties, sort of like IDs. I'll show you in a minute. So let me just go to like local business. So in a local business, these are all different properties like opening hours, price range, accepted payment method, address. These are all properties that Google looks for to understand what type of information you show. And then based on how, various, things like, how high quality your actual web page is, how much, how well it's designed, how well it's accessible to, different screen sizes and font sizes and contrast. There's so much going on there, but a large part of it is down to the schema you actually have on your site. And this is where the schema comes from. Schema.org has all of that all those guidelines set up for you, and then you want to implement the right schema into your pages. So if you have a local business, you'd add local business. If it's a restaurant, you'd add restaurant. If it's an event. But again, that's not just based on your website, it's based on the content in your website. So my website might have restaurants on there, it has hotels on there, it has malls, and so all of these would use different schema based on their category. And so again, you can just tell Claude Coder Cursor to go and fetch the schema specific for your use case, and then apply the content to it, and then you get things like this. So when you then run a URL like this Best Dubai one into schema.org, this is where it just validates the schema. You can see we have the breadcrumb list, which basically is like a hierarchy of how content is structured on my site, which is very important for Google and other search engines like ChatGPT now, Claude, Perplexity, all these LLM SEO sites, they also pick this up. So it's a hierarchy of like bestdubai.com, then things to do, then inside things to do, we have shopping. Then inside things to do, shopping, we have shopping malls. And inside that, we have the single mall. So you can see now, that's a very clear sort of hierarchy for the sake of SEO. And it makes a big impact to the way Google will end up, displaying your content, because it's well organized and well structured, and that's very, very important. And so that's why if you search something like this, Parker's Dubai reviews is like a keyword that we do pretty well in. You can see here, Best Dubai is second organically, just below TripAdvisor. And then even up here, if you look at the AI overview, which is arguably the most visible part of Google, because that's coming up before anything, because Google is actually trying to pump the Gemini AI search results. Look, the primary result that it shows is from Best Dubai here. And so even if we open some of these, you'll see that Best Dubai comes up as like the primary source. And so that's all by doing this AI SEO approach. And so you guys can all apply this, and it's really, really effective. And so, yeah, so those are the fundamentals of what any SEO optimized platform has. And so you can very easily build them into your own site. There's not anything sort of like technically wow that they're doing that you have to be paying extra for. So the stage I'm at right now is, I'm not going to go through like the whole kind of like ins and outs of like what I've done in detail. I'm just going to kind of carry on, because the whole point of the live stream is for me to just build as I'm building, and you guys just, pick up and, watch as I'm doing it as well. So you can see here, by the way, the traffic for Best Dubai has grown pretty significantly, especially in the past few months. So we started populating content around a year ago, and it took sort of 9 months for it to really start taking off. And if you look at Guilty Chef, for example, the recipe site, that started picking up a lot quicker. And the reason that started picking up quicker is because it was just like a regular directory, like a just recipe site. It's not as competitive as a tourism site. And so a tourism type of site with restaurants, hotels, all this type of stuff is like a very commercially valuable kind of search position. And therefore, it takes longer for Google to give you those sort of like, that sort of credit. And if you build up that rapport in terms of your SEO and your structuring, you will get there. You can see now Best Dubai started to take off like that. How does method work for Shopify stores? Are you going to stop using? Yeah, so we are going to stop using Zapier. I haven't used Zapier in a long time now, because this process is just so much more efficient. In terms of Shopify, yes, you can definitely do this in terms of Shopify. First of all, Shopify has an API ecosystem. And so if you get your API key from inside Shopify, you can actually populate content for your products via Cursor. So you can say to Cursor, hey, here's my Shopify API key. I want you to go and fetch all my products, and then I want you to rewrite all the content to make it SEO optimized. And then if you want to go a step further, use Firecrawl. This is Firecrawl, firecrawl.dev. Go into your dashboard and get an API key, and then give Cursor that API key as well, and it will allow it to do live research in your sector, and then it will go and find the best practices for SEO to make you competitive, and it will implement it. So that's what I would do if I was doing a Shopify store. So cool. So I'm just basically just building here right now. So first of all, because I've got the 5-day sprint framework installed, it's set up just kind of this basic landing page for me, nothing special. It's just like just tells me the framework is ready. And the beautiful thing about the 5-day sprint framework is that it's already pre-built with, I've got the wrong, sorry. I've got my own website running here. Let me open up Best to Buy. So we need to kill and restart the local server. So basically I'm just loading up my local server, which allows me to see the project. But yeah, we've got a basic landing page, and out of the box, the 5-day sprint has some beautiful design components and everything built in. And then we can sort of build up on it as we go. My screen, is it? Oh, sorry, Tariq. You know what? I'm going to, for the next stream, I'll figure out a way of maybe making the screen a bit bigger. Because I'm just trying to fit everything in. I know sometimes it can be, the resolution can get a bit skewed as well, so I'm sorry for that. For the next stream, because I have to go and reformat everything for the stream to like actually broadcast it. So next time I will try and see if I can make it bigger and figure a better way of doing it. But thank you for the feedback, man. Sorry if it's not super clear. Hopefully you can still see it though. And we're going to run Claude over here as well. Okay, so I've run the local server, and so, localhost, Best to Buy. These are like components just out of the box that like, you know, the 5-day sprint framework has, which is really cool. And then we can start building on top of this. So the stage I've got to with my project is I have set up a document here, which is an MD file, basically a markdown file, that has a full spec of what I'm trying to actually create. So you can just see here, I've got, you know, the restaurant schema that I'm trying to set up. I've got FAQ schema, opening hours, all this information. So basically this is one large document. And again, how I put this document together will all be in the tutorials inside the school community, inside 5daysprint.com, and they'll be rolling out this week. So everything I've done to get to this point, I'm not going to go through in detail because I've been through that entire workflow in the videos already, so you can watch them if you want to. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start setting up my database. So basically the stage I am at, just to summarize, is I've spoken to Claude Code and said to it, this is the type of site I'm trying to build. Go and do research using that Firecrawl API key. Look at TripAdvisor, OpenTable, everything. Understand their SEO, understand what they're doing. And then let's take the example of a restaurant. I want you to go and take a certain restaurant. So I gave it a restaurant name in Dubai. And I want you to now go and do research of that restaurant and tell me what information you can extract so I know what information we can display on our site. And I then want you to help me put together a comprehensive document that explains what we're trying to create, how the SEO would be set up and everything. And the reason I do that, and this is where we have this document here, it's like a very long document, like, you know, almost 1,000 lines, is so that if I open up a new Claude terminal like I just have, I can just drag this document in and ask Claude to just get caught up on that. And so it will have a clear idea of where I'm at in my journey and what I want to do next. So read this doc to get up to speed. The next step will be to set up, to run SQL scripts in Supabase, to set up the tables, write a list of the tables and fields we will need based on your examination. Don't give me any SQL scripts yet. Let's just verify the tables and fields. Yeah, the broadcast will be recorded. It will be live. It will be on my YouTube forever as well, and then it will be in the school community too, if you guys want to jump in there. Let's see what's going on here. cool. So you no longer need to spend on getting backlinks to rank and boost SEO. Well, technically no, because with Best Dubai I haven't really done that. So the actual answer is you kind of don't. Backlinks are great though. So it's not that you absolutely don't need to, it's just that even just doing what I'm doing alone, you can rank very well. But backlinks do help if they are, genuine and they make sense. Then do them. Don't buy backlinks. Don't do any of that type of stuff. Just make it very organic and natural for your site. And internal linking and everything is very important as well, which again, AI SEO will do for us. So I'm actually really excited to rebuild the site using this method because I think we'll get even better results than we have already with the previous method. So okay, I'm just going to review my database right now. So let me try and see what's going on here. All right, so we've got reference tables, cool. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to set up now my database so that then we can actually send a restaurant through our system and see if we can populate all the content, but the content has to live somewhere. And so what I like to do is set up my database first, right? And for our database, we use Supabase. And so my database table right now is empty. Okay, so I'm just gonna be going into this and getting SQL scripts to populate that table. And SQL scripts are basically things that Claude will give me that are running here that can do things like creating a table, deleting tables, what else? Updating tables, creating records, all this type of stuff can be done just by like simple SQL scripts that you can just paste in here and hit run. And so I'll show you how we do that in a moment. What I'm doing is I'm just reviewing the tables because think of tables like a Google spreadsheet, and I've explained it before. Each table is like a different sheet. So like restaurant cuisines will be one table, restaurant categories will be another sheet, and then inside that we have columns and rows. So like columns would be like, if I go to the restaurant example, so we'll have Google Place ID will be one column, the name of the restaurant will be another column, the slug will be another column, the phone number will be another column, and then every single restaurant will have its own row. And then inside a single restaurant, we will have relationships to other tables. So we might want so we have like, for example, restaurant cuisine. So like Japanese might be a cuisine inside the cuisines table, and then inside restaurants, you can see here, restaurant cuisines is a reference of restaurant cuisines table, right? And so instead of every time we're creating a new restaurant, populating it with new data, I want to be able to reference, I want it to find Japanese restaurants inside my database and connect it to that so that I can have a URL structure later on that is like bestdubai.com/places to eat/cuisines/Japanese, and then every single restaurant in my database that has a reference to Japanese will show up on that page. And that's another high ranking URL that can come up in Google. So when people search best Japanese restaurants in Dubai, we should come up and we should have the right content to go with that. And I'm setting that up so that the content system can be automatic, so that I can just, again, make it as simple as possible for myself, just to paste in the name of a restaurant and for it to just populate by itself. And so we're going to try and set that system up. So first thing we do is let's set up the database. Okay, let's go one by one. So you can give me SQL scripts for each database table, and then I can confirm it's been done successfully before we move on to the next one. Okay, so they run right now. So you'll see now it's going to give me a script like this. Okay, so it's saying create the cuisines reference table. So now it's added some general cuisines. So Japanese, Middle Eastern, Persian, Arabic, French, American. What I'm actually going to ask to do is, it can probably do this a lot more. So I'm going to say, let me see, Japanese, traditional, and modern Japanese cuisines, including sushi, ramen, and teppanyaki. Okay, make your cuisine list more comprehensive, and make the descriptions more SEO optimized. Let me see if I have an example on yeah, for example, yeah, because I want these descriptions to like make sense. So what it's going to do now is going to, because AI is built into Claude code already, it's using Anthropic's AI, it can also create the content for you. So while it's creating an SQL script, I'm saying to it, go and actually write the content for me for the actual cuisine, like the actual description. So we already have the description ready. So it's going to go ahead and do that, and I want every single one to just be, you know, very unique. I want it to be SEO optimized, etc. And so I'm giving an example right now of what to do. So we'll let that run for a minute. Let's see. Cool. So it's probably because it's creating a lot of content right now. It might take a little bit longer than normal. Okay. All right. So while it's doing that, what I'm going to do after is, so this is still a beautiful site, but we're just going to like rework the whole thing basically. But I'm going to keep this as a reference point for myself as I'm building. So, and I'm actually quite excited because if I've been able to get to this type of like, you know, UI and experience and features using Webflow and some custom scripts, it's actually going to be just mind-blowing what we can do using AI. Like I'm so excited to just see what this looks like with AI as well, just because the automation levels are just insane. So another cool thing when you're building your site, by the way, like if you go to this for design, shadcnblocks.com, because the shadcn UI system, which is this, so like all these components, like like carousel and, you know, whatever else, you know, charts and all this cool stuff is already built into the 5-day sprint when you run it. But then that means that other people have also built on top of that using the shadcn UI framework, right? And so if you look at shadcnblocks.com, these guys have like so many design structures already built out. So look at this, like blog structure, for example. And if you get access to this and you go code, you can just copy this. And basically you just got like a design structure already that you can just paste to your site and then just modify the look, the feel to your own like desire. But it has tons of stuff in there. It's worth going through. So I would check this out, like pricing tables. So again, like a lot of things that we'd often like, you know, struggle with are design, and this stuff is already got it built in. So you'll just go and copy this into Cursor. I think it's like, how much is this? 140, yeah, it's nothing, man. 149 USD for everything you get compared to paying a designer like thousands of dollars, bro. Grab it. Cool. Okay. Well, this thing is clearly thinking for a long time. So let's see, what is it still thinking, or has it got stuck? Hey. What? Has it got stuck? Can't even type. What's going on here? Ugh. That's never happened to me before. Okay, let's start a new Claude code. Run. Okay, same again. That's a bit annoying. That's never happened to me. I've never seen Claude code get stuck like that. Maybe because I asked it for too much data. I don't know. That shouldn't be the case though. Oh, Hussein, thank you, man. It's very, very kind to hear that. I like sharing with you guys. There's just so much that can be done with this because it's so like oh, that's cool, man. Because it's so, you know, the upside is like infinite with what you can do here. There's no shortage or scarcity of like what can be done. So as much as I can build things and do cool stuff, you know, there's so much opportunity for everyone else as well. So I think we should all be building this type of stuff as well. Have I considered using a headless CMS? I haven't, to be honest, but I've been pretty cool just like building stuff like this. So let's see. All right, cool. So, okay, now let's go one by one and set up the DB. I want you to give me the SQL script for each, and then we'll set script for one at a time. Then I'll confirm I've done it, and we can move on to the next. Any content description you write, even if you create example content, make sure it's SEO optimized. E.g., for cuisines, you might have the description as okay, let's see what happens now. So maybe we'll just get it like a small set of data. I might have asked to do like too big of a data set, which probably was a bit overkill. So let's see if it can just set up a simple script for us. Hey, A Brown. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, Greg is a G, man. He's the real deal. Thank you, man. I appreciate you joining from there. Okay, cool. Okay, let's go. All right, so you take that script and then you go into SQL editor here, bang it in there, hit run. Perfect. So now if I go into my table and I refresh this, you'll now see a table for restaurant cuisines with some demo data. So even that in itself is like really cool because it gives you just a very like simple idea of how you can use Claude Code to create content to live on your database. And when it's on your database, you can now output it onto your website because you can pull the content for your database. So you can literally have dynamic content being created through just Claude Code as a terminal, right? So it's like, you know, very, very cool to be able to do that. And actually saying that, I'm just thinking right now, I'm thinking about the CMS thing. Like, wouldn't it just be interesting to just do it through? No, it would make more sense to actually just build out my own. Okay, fine. Sorry, I'm just talking to myself. Okay, Japanese, Italian. All right, see, we've got the slug, we've got the description. This is great. So this slug means that we will have like, you know, bestdubai.com/places to eat /cuisine/Chinese. Perfect. That's good and set up. So, okay, next. So I'm just going to go through this entire process now for like, I think it's like 5 databases we need to set up. So we'll just let it do it. And then, so if you look at, I'll give you a small example, like with 5-day sprint, I have like a section of the site for myself as an admin where I can like do things. So if I have like go to Postmaker, for example, this allows me to create content by giving it like, you know, URL, so I can give it a video, and give it like a video source, and it will go and get like the transcript of a video, and then turn it into content for like LinkedIn or Twitter or wherever else. And so I created like a system for myself. And so similarly, I want to create a system for Best Dubai where I'll be able to paste in, I can start typing, for example, the name of a restaurant, and I'm going to use Google Places API to live search and come up with the place. And then that's all I want to be able to, I want to have to do, so that I can just hit run and then everything just be populated for me. And so that's where we're going to get to very, very quickly. So then we've got a system where we can just run content like, you know, just on autopilot. So okay, let's do this one now. So cool. So this is, what's this? Restaurant categories. Okay, cool. One. Next. So while we're doing this, let I crack on. So this is like a really important part of the, hey, what happened there? Failed to connect. Okay, done. So that should be our next one. So now we've got restaurant categories, and then we're gonna have, why is he put in icon? Oh, that's not a bad idea, to be honest, because like, okay, fine. Okay, so this is restaurant features. So let me just run that as well. All right, so if I refresh this now, we've got restaurant categories and features. So categories will be like fine dining, casual dining, fast casual, rooftop, beachfront dining, hotel restaurant, street food, food truck, buffet, cafe. That sounds good. And then we've got descriptions. So again, these are like SEO friendly descriptions. Casual dining restaurants in Dubai provide comfortable, relaxed atmospheres, perfect family meals. And again, I can update these whenever I want. You can just update them directly in your database, or you can like get Claude to do it. Now we've got restaurant features, so outdoor seating, vegan options, live music, parking, wheelchair, private dining, Wi-Fi, nice, cool. So what's this one? Okay, so this is for meals, so like breakfast, lunch, dinner, stuff like that. Okie dokes. So that's nice. Breakfast, brunch, lunch, dinner, late night, all day dining, high tea, happy hour. Happy hour is a bit rubbish. High tea is also rubbish. Let's delete those. Okay. Breakfast, brunch, lunch, dinner, late night, all day. Seems good. Okay. And what's this one? Dish categories. Okay. Nice. Next. See, just, you know, let's not underestimate how cool it is to just allow these things to just Claude Code to create like this for you. It's just, you know, just awesome, man. Look into MCP, skipping the code. Yeah, I know. Mohammed, you know, I used to use MCPs quite a bit, but I kind of stopped using some of them. Few different reasons. So I know Superbase MCP is great, yes. So what I do instead is I have all of my Superbase credentials stored in a file called .env local here. And so I can connect to Superbase at any point through terminal and just execute anything I want. So I could just do this like that. But if you're looking at the process I'm doing right now, I'm reading and checking things as I'm going. So yes, it might take me only a few seconds extra, but I personally prefer this process to also understand what's going on and to read it and everything. So like, it's just my preferred technique, but you can absolutely use MCPs. I just stopped using MCPs for some things because I just prefer this process instead. So 3 stars, 2 stars, big on the plate. Cool. So what do we have now? What was the one before this? I got sidetracked. Dish categories. So we have dish categories, appetizer, soup, salads, main course, seafood, grilled. It's a bit weird though, grilled items. Let's just kill that for a minute, because the idea is that if we don't have things, and as we populate content, it will like create it by itself. Desserts, beverages, sushi. Tender specialities. No, I don't like to be too specific like that. These are all cool. This should be separate. Appetizers, soup, salads, main course, seafood, desserts, beverages, sushi, sashimi, meze. Okay, let's leave that there for now. Let's look at Michelin guide. So 3 stars Michelin, 2 stars Michelin, 1 star, big one on the plate. Yep, this is so cool. Okay, so that's fine. Next. So now we're creating the main restaurant table. Okay, nice. And I suppose the last one would be the restaurant menu items. Restaurant dishes, restaurant menu items. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. So this now sets up our database for the main restaurant. So the kind of the head system, really, like the main database, which isn't any different to any other database. It's just going to be the restaurants. So here, so we'll have all these sort of fields it's populated. So you can see these are referencing restaurant cuisine ID. Let's see. Let's just check this. So restaurant cuisine ID is a foreign key related to public restaurant cuisines. That's fine. Category. So this is restaurant categories, but this. Okay, so so funny, I'll talk to it, is being set as a foreign key, but isn't. What other ones do we have? Same with and neighborhood. Let's fix those. Do you want me to run a script so you can see what we actually have in the DB we just created? Basically, I need to make sure that it actually, so see here, this link icon tells us that it's referencing the cuisine here, which is great, but the category should also be referencing category, but it's not. Same thing with restaurant features, etc. So like Michelin guide is, so it's not consistent. So we're gonna run this script now to have it check let's fix the script. Okay, see there we can copy as JSON. Bear in mind we haven't yet set up the restaurant and restaurant menu items DB. Okay, so hopefully it will fix its own issue. Okay. See, I don't even know what some of this stuff means. I'm just let it run. So restaurant, it'll fix its own error. This was good at as well. Like any errors you do get. So your app doesn't allow subqueries and check constraints. You can't enforce foreign key constraints on array column. Let's skip this constraint now. Move on to creating. We handle reference integrity at the application level when insert. Okay, I know what we'll do. So let's set up restaurant dishes. Let's do that. Okay, and so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set up this up and I'm gonna tell it to redo the restaurant's table. So we'll delete the table and then remake it. So we just did restaurant dishes, this one. Okay, that's fine, that's empty. Hold on, this one. Yep, restaurant dish category, cuisine ID, cuisine ID, category ID, so it's a restaurant dish. Let's see. Okay, so restaurant menu items. So let's see. Okay, so let's check everything now. So we have restaurant menu items, which is this one. So we have the restaurant menu item links to restaurant ID. Yep, restaurant dish ID, which links to the dish from the restaurant price menu section. Is signature dish. Okay, that's fine. Michelin guide. Dish doesn't need any foreign. This doesn't either. This doesn't either. This doesn't either. Restaurant. What's this one? Restaurant. Which one are we in now? Restaurant dishes. So, okay, we have a dish. Dish category will be the type. Restaurant dish category. Yep. And then restaurant dish cuisine will be, yep. Okay. And then restaurant menu items will be restaurant ID, restaurant dish ID, yep. 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 That's fine. So, okay. Okay, now should we, how do we manage the foreign key reference issues in restaurant table? Let's see what's going on here. See, this is another reason why I just like to just go through it like myself and just understand it. And I think it's especially good because that trains your mind to kind of understand the infrastructure of your site. And I've said this in other videos as well, but yes, AI is like very intelligent, you know, and just so powerful. It's like using any like a tool, like a powerful physical tool. Of course, it has more force, more power, more precision than a human would. However, we still have to guide it, we still have to direct it. And similar with the AI, it's like you still have to think of yourself as like the master orchestrator, having the plan, and then using AI in sort of like the system thinking, siloed approach of just like drilling in and getting it to work the way you want. That's how I think you get the best results. Okay, so what is it saying here? So since project doesn't allow foreign key constraints on array columns, I see. Okay, got it. That makes sense. So basically what it's saying is that those columns, such as restaurant category IDs, it could be multiple, so it can be an array. So an array is like when you have multiple like columns separated. It's the same with restaurant feature IDs, restaurant meal IDs. These could all be arrays, and therefore it would, so create triggers that validate arrays on insert update, create validation function. Okay, so that's fine for now, so we don't need to worry about that. Okay, cool. So we're good. So that's our database setup. So now what we want to do is I want to set up a page where I can actually like test this system. So let me create a test page somewhere. Let me first of all, so let's do a little bit of UI work now. So let me write down. I actually need to timestamp this for my own sake because this content will also be available in a school community. And I just want to break it up. It's cool. All right. So now let's set up a little bit of UI so I can actually test this system. Let me think. Okay, let's go into the blocks. Shall I see? Let me find something that I like. All right, let's see. So you can see it's quite similar to the 5-day sprint because I just used it from here as well. I want something with a curved interior. Like this. Okay, so let's move on to some UI work for now. Set up a page, set up a structure for admin with a page admin, what do we call it? Admin add place, that's crap though. Add admin add, let's just do that. Use as the layout. You don't need to populate any other content, just set up the template from ShadCN as it is. Okay, so I'm just creating a page under admin/add, so that will be my page where I will add content from into the site. So I'm going to have to go ahead and set that up. So you can see that I've just given it just this command here, and so in a moment we should get a page that looks just like this. So let's go here and just wait for it to set that up for us. So in a moment it will set it up. It should have that already installed because we've got the ShadCN framework installed. So we should just run it. Okay, let it do its thing. What else is going on? So I like to sort of work in this kind of just flow for me, because I kind of dip in between sometimes like a bit of UI work and database work as I'm going. So like right now I've set up the main database architecture for restaurants, and so we will use restaurants as sort of a structure that will follow through for different types of places. So like hotels will then have their own version of hotel categories, hotel features, etc. But we'll use restaurants as sort of like the gold standard here. And I'll build out now a system where I can then enter a place, like a restaurant. We should find it on Google, and then we should be able to use Firecrawl to go and do the research and then populate our database with all the content that we need. So that's what we're trying to achieve right now. So I'm just setting up a simple page like this. See, cool, nice. See, it still adds content for me, even though I told it not to, but whatever, it's cool. See, it's by the way, this is also very, very cool for you guys to see. See how I just gave it a simple command with like a simple prompt, and it set up a page for me based on the UI I wanted, and also set up a an interface that works within the context of my spec. So it knows that I'm trying to detect the source, do the Firecrawl, then AI processing a database. That's literally my process. But because it understands the context of my project, even when I've given it a UI thing I want to add in, it's made the page for me already. So it's obviously not working yet, but it's just setting it up. So no, dev server is already running. It sometimes tries to restart the server, but we don't need to. Okay, now problem that I'm having and seeing. Hey. Uh-oh. Oh no, we're good. Is that I actually wanted a rounded layout. So I wanted this rounded layout. It's not done that for me. Why does it create so many placeholders for me? I don't want all these placeholders. Okay, fine, it didn't. Oh, okay, it did. That's fine, it's not a big deal. So these are not actually pages. So, okay, so looks great, but in the actual Shad CN sidebar 08 example, the main content has a radius and some padding outside it. Do you notice that in the code? If so, we need to apply that. I really want this because I want my layout to sort of follow that structure, and so I want that padding there. Oh, by the way, I'm just being a bit weird right now because that's just like I'm being a bit designy for no reason, but it's important to me, so we can do it. Let's see if it figures it out. So, because right now, if you can see, it's like just wrapped up here. Sorry, it's it's just edge to edge, but I need. Same I've got actually in 5-day sprint. See this like curvature here, but the way I'm going to do it is like the menu's not going to be on the side. We're going to put the menu up top. So I want that curvature. So I've got like a nice padding around it with the menu and footer and the content in like this white card in the middle. That's what we want to go for. So okay, so yeah. I need to update to insert variant and proper styling to main content area. Let me update the layout. Okay. So do your thing, Claude. Let's see what we get. Perfect. Good. All right, so that's what I want. Now, I want to kill this sidebar quickly because I don't need it there at all. I don't need any of this. I don't need any of this. So let me just commit this quick. BD UI structure. Just so what I'm doing is I'm just sending that information to GitHub. So it's just stored that, so I can just revise and come back if it makes any issue, if it like breaks anything. I've put that stamp there. What's going on here? Okay. So let's see. Let's just remove the sidebar. I mean, it's not essential right now, but let's do it anyway, just so you guys can see a bit of UI work. Remove the. No, I'm not going to do that. I'll tell you why. Because I'd rather just actually get this thing functioning, because that's why you guys are here. So I'll faff about with the design in my own time. Let's just get this thing working. Okay. So on remove all content except this is search section. Do you know why design bugs me? It's because like when I'm working, I feel like it needs to look good as I'm working on it. So I feel like I'm fighting the urge to make it look good because I'm doing a live stream. But actually in my mind, it's like I need it to look good. So I can even like operate as well. It's just an odd thing. Okay. Now, if you notice, the content, all of this, etc., is also inside a white card. Then we have another white card behind it for the main content. I just want the content on the main white card. See, I don't know if that makes sense, but basically I'm saying that this is like got two cards here. I want this one removed. I just want the content on the background one. So let's see. Let me think about this. No. No, it's still wrapped in its own card. See, sometimes it thinks it's fixed things, but it hasn't. So let's see if you can just do that a little bit for me. It thinks it's doing it, but it's not. Okay, here's what we're going to do. I'm actually going to get it to completely remove that section. Okay, let's start here. Okay, for now, let's just work on functionality. We need to use Google Maps API to allow us to search for places. Let me actually get my API key. So I'm just going to go, let me go here real quick, just while I go into Google and get my API key. So I'm exposing it. Google API console. Sorry guys, I'm just doing this so that I can get my API key. Otherwise, if you see my API key, you guys are going to be, all right, let's go here, APIs. Let's enable, where do we have it? Actually, I can share this bit. Let me go back here. Okay, so I'm in the Google Cloud Console. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to create a new project. Actually, no, I have a Best Buy project. Is it working though? Maps API, Places API. Places API new. Let's see. Okay, look for analysis and function. We should go to allow us to search for places in the input field and use, let's see, components. There is one here, not context menu, combo box. Yeah, and use so places in the input field. If I start typing a place, it should give me results in a drop down in real time. Guide me through the Google API setup so I can give you what you need. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is just set this up so that I can type in here and actually have a Google place. See the Google Places coming up. Let's see. Cool. So console, create a new project. So I need to go Places API new. Okay. So we need these. Go to credentials in the left menu. Click create credentials. API key. Copy the API key. All right. So credentials. Okay. Let me get the credentials. Best to buy. Create API key. Let's see. Okay, you know what? What we're going to do is we will leave the stream there for now because I'm going to have to do a little bit API work here and it'll probably get a bit too intricate in terms of like, you know, me exposing keys and stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and build out the rest of this so that I can get the restaurant data to come up, and then going to create sort of a workflow, which will probably take me a couple of hours anyway, so it'll be way too long for a stream. And then you'll start to see, now I'll actually start to have content that's being created as well for the site. So let's hop off there. If you guys want to pick up on anything that I'm doing after this or what I've done before this to get to this point, then again, you just need to go into the 5-day sprint community and join there, or go to 5daysprint.com and you can sign up here and actually get the framework so you guys can start implementing all this stuff yourself as well. But I'm just gonna carry on building, and then, you know, I'll be recording this whole setup anyway. So if you want to carry on watching how I do this, then you can jump into the community and see the rest.